discovered that I had to go to a gluten-free and dairy-free diet, one of the things that I knew I was really going to miss was fried food. So I found a way to replicate fried fish in a completely gluten-free way. And it's really very, very simple. Instead of using breadcrumbs or wheat flour of any kind, we replaced everything with almond flour, which is an almond meal, and brown rice flour. And we do this in a 50-50 mix. We use the mix because the brown rice flour helps the almond meal to adhere to the fish or the chicken or whatever you're using this on. First off, I'm going to put a little oil in a skillet. So I'm going to take just a half cup. There we go, half cup. And for seasoning on this, I use a little Cajun seasoning. 1 tablespoon. I know that seems like a lot of Cajun seasoning, but it takes that much for the flavor to carry through. Likewise, there's an herbal seasoning that we use. It's similar to an Italian seasoning, but it's not really quite the same thing, but it's got a lot of common ingredients with that. Again, tablespoon. Salt and pepper, and salt and pepper I usually go about a teaspoon, just a little less. Doesn't take as much. And the pepper we use out of the grinder, so it's a little harder to actually measure. There we go. Once all of that's done, you want to mix it up. Mix it up however you want. I usually just get my fingers in there and go after it. If there are lumps in the almond meal, just little clumps, you want to break those up and get this just a nice fine mixture and thoroughly mixed as good as you can. Once you have all of the ingredients sufficiently mixed together, just kind of smooth it out and make a flat area in the middle of it and kind of squish it out to the edges. You're going to need that on the edges to cover the top of the fish when we go to bread it. Okay, my oil is good and hot, maybe a little too hot even. And we are ready to go. The fish that I'm using is a white fish called swai, S-W-A-I. We get it in a frozen form and it thaws and cooks very well. It's nice, crisp, clean white fish. So using the wet hand, dry hand method, figure out your chain to your skillet. Wet, dry, skillet. So I got a wet hand and a dry hand. Wet hand picks up the fish, puts it in the egg batter. I flip it over. I make sure I get egg batter all over it using only the wet hand. Then I put it on top of the dry mix, and using only the dry hand, I bury it in the dry mix. Pat it down a little bit and make sure that I cover up all of the wet surface I can. Flip it over, do it again. There are some techniques that people will have you run it back through the wet, back through the dry, but using this mixture and these ingredients, I found that really one time through is all you need. And into the skillet it goes. Pick up the other fish with the wet hand, into the egg batter. Smooth out a landing place with the dry hand. Bury it with the dry hand. Flip. And into the skillet. 3 to 5 minutes on each side. So we're ready to flip the fish over for the other side now. There we go. Oh yeah, good, nice golden color on that. There we go. And another 3 to 5 minutes on this side, and I'll see you when we're done with that. Okay, and the fish is ready, and just gonna take it out and plate it. There you go, fried fish.